The ocean waves crashed against the bow of my ship, the Seagull, as we cut through the turquoise waters under a bright blue sky. As captain, I've faced my fair share of dangers at sea, but my skills and wit have always seen me through. My crew of loyal misfits know I'll get them home safe, as long as they obey my orders without question. Our latest mission was shrouded in mystery. Rumors of two fabled emeralds with mystical powers, the red and green heart-shaped gems, had reached my ears. I was determined to find them and add them to my collection. As the first and only young pirate captain, I relished any chance to prove my strength and solidify my reputation. We tracked the emeralds to a remote Mediterranean island after interrogating a captive sailor. Upon arriving, I ordered my 5 best fighters, including my trusted first mate Jack, to scout the dense jungle interior. But what they found was more perilous than imagined. As my crew ventured inland, they stumbled upon an ancient temple half buried in vines. Inside, they discovered not treasures, but traps. Poison darts rained down from the shadows, and the floor collapsed beneath them into a pit of spikes. My heart pounded as screams echoed through the trees. We rushed to dig them out, but 2 good men were lost already. The survivors emerged shaken but determined to finish the mission. After a long search, they unearthed a secret compartment holding the glittering gems. Elated, we prepared to set sail, but on our journey back, disaster struck. A fierce storm blew in from nowhere, whipping the waves into a frenzy. My usually steady ship was tossed like a toy. Through the sheets of rain, I struggled to keep us afloat. Then came a sickening crack. We'd sprung a leak. As the hold began to fill, panic spread among the crew. But I refused to abandon the Seagull, not after all we'd been through. For 3 hopeless days we bailed water, praying for the weather to clear. Exhausted and despairing, few saw the betrayal coming. In our weakened state, Jack and 4 others made their move, overpowering the lookouts and locking me below deck. When I awoke, we had new direction, straight towards a towering maelstrom dead ahead. They meant to sink us all. Struggling against my bonds, I cried out fruitlessly as we rushed into the whirling vortex. This was to be my watery grave. As the waves sucked us down, something stirred in the depths. A massive shadow approached. A blue whale had come, summoned by my whispered pleas. It nudged the sinking ship, offering its back as a raft. With great effort, I clawed my way atop the whale just before the timbers disappeared below. But my traitorous crew had launched an escape boat and rowed out of reach, believing me drowned at last. Clutching the whale for life, I vowed a dark vengeance. The whale bore me safely to a deserted beach as the storm receded. Exhausted but full of renewed purpose, I made my way inland and found an ally in a tribe of indigenous people living in huts scattered among the palms. They tended my wounds and, once I revealed my unique communication with sea creatures, recognized me as something sacred. As thanks, their shaman taught me forest skills and healing magics. I had escaped death once more. My strength returned swiftly in their care. Packed with provisions by my new friends, it was finally time to reclaim my ship. I summoned the sea's children, and before long spotted the Seagull's sails on the horizon. But Jack and his mutineers had no idea I was coming. A pod of orcas surrounded them, cutting off any means of escape. From a distant cliff top, I watched with satisfaction as the massive black and white predators herded the traders into the shallows, backing them into a frenzied panic. With a wave of my hand, the orcas parted like a dark sea. My allies rowed me out to board the now empty vessel, the emerald still gleaming in the captain's chambers. I had faced hell and come back changed but unbroken. This ship, these seas, they were mine by right. As for Jack and the deserters, I hoped the sharks would show more mercy than I ever could. The tale of Sea Eagle had only begun. With a revived crew and a hunger for further adventures, our sails caught the wind once more, carrying me towards fresh horizons and undiscovered fortunes. This was where I belonged, among the rolling waves, with the sea as my endless dominion. No captain lived freer than I. A week after, I received a letter from my wife, and I guessed it was time my crew and I visited Lamish, the ancient serpent of the dark waters. Are you ready?